Hey guys, Huz here, bringing you another video. This time another league discussion, and this time I'm joined with Fi. So hi Fi.
Hello.
Today we're talking about maining a role. So we'll be talking about how did we come across what roles we've mained. Is it important to main a role? That type of thing. So firstly, Fi, what role do you main? I'm sure everybody knows, but what role do you main, and how did you come to main it?
So I main AD now, and I've probably been maining AD for about 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess the first thing I've always had good mechanical skill with the game because I played Counter-Strike on a high level before, so I always liked mouse controls, stuff like that, which is pretty much all AD. And the better I got at League, the more comfortable I was to take on that role, I guess.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
that's pretty much why I enjoy it so much, and is why like my favorite champions would be Caitlyn and Vayne.
Okay. Have you mained anything other than AD in the past?
Yeah, so I started off jungling because obviously Foxtrot taught me how to play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, him being my brother, like he introduced me to the game, and that's kind of how I got into League. So obviously he taught me how to jungle, being a jungler himself, and then I kind of swapped to mid because that was the next kind of step, I guess.
Yeah.
For I prefer laning to be honest with the mechanics and stuff like that. So that was the next step for me, and then I moved to AD. I played a lot of Ezreal because Ezreal's very similar to like mid champions, and that was kind of the transition, I guess, between the three. But I've never really touched top. I'm horrible.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I'll quickly say kind of my history as I'm someone that has mained most things in the game at one point or the other. I started as AD in season 2, early season 2, and friends and that we swapped around roles every now and then I moved into mid lane, which was the majority of my play, and that's what I think most people kind of know me for in my YouTube channel, that type of thing. But then you contacted me a while back, seeing if I wanted a top lane for fighters,
Yeah.
which I did, and we both know how that went. It wasn't my style, and that's one thing I want to push in this type of league discussion is really do play what you enjoy. Because I went to top lane and I thought it'd be go okay. I've done it in solo queue quite a lot, but I just didn't enjoy it. I felt isolated on an island, and yeah, I told Fi that I was a bit bored, and it was better for them to get four paws in at the time, which is now our top laner, and I think that's working out quite well.
Yeah, pretty good so far.
And now I'm the jungler, so yeah, I've gone through a big loop, and I'm really enjoying jungling. So that puts you at ease there, Fi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying jungling. Getting involved is something that is really key to me playing in League of Legends. So yeah, that is pretty much my story with maining roles. So yeah, next kind of question is, what do you feel about the importance of maining one role instead of being like a jack of all trades, being able to play everything? And this can be in solo queue if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so I think maining role is actually really important, like more important than people think. You'll notice that like solo queue is literally just like a separate game. Like solo queue is just you run around, like play the solo queue game and find ways to win. And
Yeah,
like, one of the ways to win is just to play a champion over and over again. Main like that champion, know the matchups in the lane, and just kind of climb elo that way. So I think it just proves like there are a lot more players in Challenger or Diamond that main two roles
hmm,
and like two or three champions in each role than there are people who can just play everything. Playing everything is good, but never great, I think. And sometimes you kind of need that greatness to carry solo queue when your team's not as great. I guess solo queue
yeah,
is kind of the game where you have to carry your elo to climb rather than like you can just play fine, you can play average, but that's never enough to guarantee yourself climbing. So I think it's really important to pick like one or two roles that you are really comfortable with.
yeah. I kind of agree. Like I've always been somebody that has always said, I can play every role, any champion, and it kind of bit me in the butt when I was Diamond 2, 90 odd points, and then suddenly I went through a massive drop, but I was continuing to play everything. Where now I'm back on the climb because I've reduced my champion pool. I'm playing a lot of Lee Sin, which is actually in the background of this video. Um, but yeah, I'm playing a lot of Lee Sin, I'm playing a lot of Elise, really just nailing it down. And I think that actually really helps you because you get focus a lot better. You don't have to think of the champion as much when you're playing it, which I think is
Yeah.
kind of a big thing.
I think definitely. I mean, there's in tournaments and stuff like that, especially LCS or high level tournaments, you'll notice that even if a player isn't playing like amazingly with a champion, they'll probably ban it after the third game in a row that they played it,
Yeah.
because once you get that third game in, you're just playing kind of from muscle memory, like comfort. And at that point, that's when someone becomes really dangerous, because they don't have to focus on their champion anymore. They focus on other thing, and that's when these next level plays kind of come in. So in the World Finals, like Pushu was playing Corki from Fnatic.
He played like the whole thing.
Yeah, he played that like the whole way through. But you notice against like the good teams, semis and in the quarterfinals, they started to ban that against him just to take him off the comfort picks. And same on, I think it's Nagne, something like that. On Najin Sword, I believe, maybe
Something
someone
like
else.
that, yeah.
He was playing Gragas a lot, and they started to warrant that ban from him because he was just really comfortable on it. So I think, like, to be honest, if you play one or two champions, you learn that champion so well. God damn, my kitten has just gone crazy. But yeah, if you learn them really really well, then you stand a much higher chance of winning that game, because you can focus on everything else that's going on rather than what should I do now. You just know what you're gonna do, so you can focus on other stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think as well, like you mentioned a few like Puju's, Corki, like Froggen's Anivia. I think that's like a
Yeah,
really well known one. Like he doesn't
exactly.
even play it anymore because he kind of got banned out to a certain point that he kind of lost. I would say he's still really good at Anivia, but because it was banned out so much, he's probably familiar with other champions now, like just the same as Anivia.
Yeah, I think
And
the
yeah,
LCS they stopped banning it, didn't they?
yeah,
Eventually, and he
and he
just
didn't
didn't
play it
play it
anymore. Yeah.
because he doesn't practice it in scrims. He doesn't think it's worth it. So
hmm
I definitely agree.
Okay, so to kind of wrap this up, we're going to quickly talk about kind of what the best roles to main we feel are for like carrying, that type of thing. But
Yeah.
obviously, always stick to the point that play what you do enjoy. Don't be forced in playing a role you don't. So, what would you say are the best roles to kind of carry your team?
Okay, so I think personally that jungle is probably the easiest to carry, and then mid lane afterwards,
Yeah.
because you, like the easiest way of winning solo queue is just having as big an impact on the game as possible. And while as an AD, I can stomp my lane and I can be like a 50 CS up or 100 CS up. If my mid lane, or if their mid laner decides to roam down and destroy me, or their jungler just decides to camp me, then that obviously turns it into a 3v2, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's like no amount of my skill is gonna matter when someone's camping me.
Yeah.
And I think jungle I put first because you can literally be everywhere. Like you could help 2 out of 3 lanes win, and if 2 out of 3 lanes win, then you're most likely going to win the game. Like you've got a higher chance. Whereas AD, you're on an island till about 20 minutes, and then you come and you have your impact. So I still think that. But obviously, personally for me, I still play AD in solo queue
Yeah.
because that's my best role. Like that is where I'm best at. And if I keep playing well with my role, then eventually I will climb. It's just if you want to do it quicker, I'd say jungle mid probably.
Yeah, I'm exactly in the same boat as you. Like when people ask me, what role should I play to carry or get higher yellow, that type of thing, which it shouldn't be your main focus just to get higher yellow. Just play the game better. But yeah, definitely jungle and mid. Like when I used to duo with a friend called Galzuk, he was a main jungler at the time, with me being mid, and yeah, just the synergy you can control the whole game with, just with you two people, is insane. So yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, this was league discussion though with Fi, talking about rolling or maining a role. So thank you, Fi, for this.
You're welcome. It was fun.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this little talk. Maybe do more of these, maybe in the future. Who knows? And I will see you guys next time.